So, did you study the PowerPoint essential, Jenny?
Yes, boss. Yes, and then the slides 3, I quite agree with it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's not much I can suggest to change.
Okay,
I think that's perfect to go.
So we're good to go.
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
good to go.
I think so.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, Jenny, you're here.
Yes, I made it.
You're here.
I did.
Well, so you're saying you're quite nervous for this.
I am. I think I still am very nervous.
Yeah?
First time.
You don't look nervous.
Do I?
No, you don't look nervous.
I don't?
No.
Yeah, maybe just, I don't know. I'm pretending that I'm not. Actually, that might be the case because there was one time we were walking down Queen Street and you know how Queen Street have a lot of homeless people or maybe not homeless, but they do just wander around Queen Street a lot. And it was a very loud group and definitely act a little bit aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was a whole company were walking down the street and then they were all kind of just acting towards us.
Yeah.
And then a few girls just run past them, getting really terrified. And I was like hugging their laptop and just like looking, turning back and it's like, what's going on? And then I just pretend that they're not existing.
Yeah.
I'm so terrified inside of me, but I just thought that if I act it, they'll know that I'm scared.
Yeah.
So I just pretend they don't exist. I just walk like they just walk past me like that.
Yeah.
And then my manager was like, hey, Jenny, just act like there's nothing. I was like, you have no idea how scared I am inside.
So you're scared as ham inside.
I am.
But outside you're calm.
Yeah, I just pretend.
Pretend you're
that
calm.
I'm okay.
So is it because like if you show that you are scared, like they will feed off that? Is that why
I feel like inside of me, that's what I'm feeling. Like when you're in a dark room and then if you start running, then the ghosts is all following you, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
So
have you ever felt that?
If you're in a dark room and you don't act scared, then the ghosts don't care about you.
Yeah, you just pretend like, nah, it's okay. It's all perfectly fine. No, I just walk out and it'll be fine.
I can kind of get that. Like, if I'm home by myself and I hear a noise in like another room, I kind of pretend that everything's normal. You know? Like that's normal.
Unless it shows his face, I'm just gonna pretend I didn't know.
Goodness. What would you do? Say, do you believe in ghosts?
Do I? I think I am afraid for sure.
Oh, you're afraid?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm scared of all the. I get afraid with all the ghost stories, and I am afraid of dark.
Yeah.
And I never go to a horror room.
Oh,
I know I will not survive it.
Like the haunted house.
Yeah, a haunted house. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that ghosts exist.
Okay.
That's a very philosophical and scientific question too.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think if you're scared of ghosts, then maybe in some sense you believe it.
Yeah, I want to say I'm more believe than not believe, but I wouldn't say I believe a ghost.
Yeah.
I think I'm scared of the unknown.
Unknown, yeah, that's true. Do you don't not believe in it, right? As in, if someone says, I saw a ghost, you wouldn't say, would you say, no, you're lying, ghosts don't exist?
No, I won't.
You wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So you don't not believe in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
I think that's a good way to put it.
You haven't seen one yourself, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or have you? Do you have like an experience?
I don't think so. I think all of my kids' memory, the stuff that I'm scared of, are like tree shadows that goes into your room.
Oh, how do you know? How do you know those are tree shadows?
How did I know? Good question.
Could be other shadows too.
I think I had a lot of imaginary friends.
Right. You had imaginary friends?
Yeah. Multiple probably.
Really?
But it wasn't like movies, you have a team, a Tom,
Yeah.
and then they talk to you. It's nothing like that.
Okay.
But I know that's an imaginary friend.
Right.
I just like to think, okay, what would this person do?
Oh. So you don't talk to them?
No.
You just think, what would they do?
I just play a scenery of stories between the imaginary me in my brain and the imaginary her
Right.
I think it's a her, but it's more like an angel. I don't know. Oh my God, this is going deep.
So you think, what would that angel do if they were in your situation, kind of thing?
Yeah, I would think how they would interact, how they would talk, or whether they will, play some game or do some stuff.
Yeah.
Like what are they to? It's like writing a storybook. Like, okay, this happened. What's gonna happen next?
Yeah.
Who's gonna say what?
Right.
And then how is the story gonna continue?
Right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I know I am here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that's man, I feel like I found the right guest for the podcast.
Is this the topic that you were thinking of?
Well, I mean, I didn't expect it, but it's good that I'm finding that about you through the podcast, through the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So is that something that you do these days too?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I think. I mean, in Asia, people do say that kids believe in a lot more things than adults do.
Yeah.
But I personally feel like it's just when you're adults, there's so much life admin. You don't have time to do that anymore.
Well, you don't have the time to believe in things.
No, yeah. Like, you just worry about stuff that actually worries you
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Do you mean like, I don't know, putting the washing on, doing the dishes kind of thing?
Yeah, all of that. And then also futures.
Yeah.
You'll be thinking about, okay, I need to get some stuff done by end of next month.
Yeah.
And then I have 3 weekends to do it.
Yeah.
And then there might be other stuff that I need to do. So yeah, it's all of that.
Yeah.
Part of adulthood, I guess.
I think that's a good, good segue into the next topic, Jenny.
Yeah.
But before that, I'm being paranoid about the video not recording, so let me check that really quick.
Sounds good.
And this is, cold, it's good, it's good. So Jenny, you were saying, oh well, the video is recording, so we see you, or you see us.
Yes.
Say hi to the listeners, Jenny.
Hello. I'm Jenny.
Do you want to do a bit of an introduction? How would you introduce yourself?
Oh my God. Traumatized from interviews.
Oh, tell me about yourself.
What? I came from China. I came from Wuhan, and I traveled. I came to New Zealand on a scholarship program, and then stayed here ever since. I actually don't think there's anything particularly interesting about me.
Oh,
which is why I find it very struggling.
You're an accountant?
I am, yes. I am.
And you like outdoor stuff?
Yes, I do. I like to try new things.
Yeah.
Fun facts?
Yeah.
Accounting wasn't my first choice.
It was like, you mean going into university?
Yeah.
It wasn't your first choice?
It wasn't my first choice.
Oh, what was your first choice?
When I was in high school, I really liked biology.
Okay.
It's one of the papers that I will go to the, was it glossary, or was it called at the back?
Oh yeah, glossary, like with all the words and the definitions and things.
And then like where can you find that kind of stuff. This is the only textbook.
Yeah.
I will go there, read what the English name is, and then try to figure out is there any other stories about that.
Yeah.
But my mom studied biology, and my biology teacher, were in a good relationship. He kind of convinced me not to go down that pathway.
Is that right?
It could be a good interest. But if I decided to go down this pathway when I was only 18, and then this will be what I'm gonna do in the next 60 years.
Yeah.
It might be too rushed.
Okay.
So he was advising me as a girl to consider a few other options. And then I think just the career options are not very wide as a biologist.
Yeah.
Especially in China, I think around those time.
Yeah.
I think that was why. So I took that advice, and I wasn't choosing that.
Yeah. So do you have any regrets? Because it's a big decision. Like, when you choose to kind of study something, right? I guess in some sense, like, sure, you can change it any time, but I mean, it feels like a big decision.
Yeah.
Right. Do you have any, like, looking back, like, do you think you made the right choice? Put your mic a bit closer, Jenny.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I think this is, I will have this question to you.
Okay.
How did you decide what major you were choosing when you were...
I'm the interview here, Jenny.
We're having conversations.
We're having conversation. Yeah, no, sorry. How did I decide, like, what to choose at university kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I did maths and physics, and I think those two things were like what I was best at, because I was really into football, and until year 12, I was trying really hard to play professionally, and so like all the other kind of studies that I did was just I just did whatever came the easiest to me, and that happened to be calculus and statistics, calculus and statistics, so mathematics. But obviously when I got to year 13, I'm like, okay, realistically it would be impossible for me to be a professional from there, because a lot of professional football players, they when they're young, they already have networks, and they already play for a really good team, even if they're not professional. So there's some signs that they might make it to the next level. For example, they might play for New Zealand under 16, under 18, under 21, and then maybe to the men's team.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any of that. Year 13, I was like, okay, this is probably not going to happen. So when I got to university, I was like, I just chose what I was best at in school. And that's maths and physics. Physics not much, but physics kind of related to maths, and I liked physics. So yeah, just went with that. But I remember saying, like, I didn't really have any directions going into it. I remember saying to my dad, like, I am going just because everyone else is going.
Oh, to university.
Yeah, to the university.
And you made it all the way to PhD.
I think I lucked out, but I remember kind of thinking, like, yeah, like I feel like it's the safest option. If in doubt, you go to university and get a job. That's the safest option. But I didn't make it, because I know some people really want to go to university and experience and learn things. I wasn't like that at the start. Yeah, so so that's kind of I just chose whatever I was kind of good at.
I found this very interesting. Your response. I bring this topic back to you because I think I did still most of my high school in China, and everything was already planned for us. The only choice we get to choose whether you major in science or major in arts. And that's kind of it. And then rest of it, everything was planned for you. So I think even for university degrees, most high school graduates were only making a choice based on how high their grades are.
Right.
So people were making a choice of, do I want to go to a better university with a not so favorite degree? Or do I want to go to a lower ranked or not good university with a really great, good degree that I'm interested in? And I personally feel like that's how people make choices based on how good you can get, how competitive you can get, and then decide what you want. Yeah. So not many people think about what they want to do for life until they graduate from high school. that might be where I was as well.
Right. I see.
I got on the scholarship program, so I wasn't really worrying too much about my grades at the moment. So I got a bit of spare time. I know I love biology, and I love economy. I read a couple of books, and I said, okay, it's a bit of sociology, a bit of money side, like how they work together. So I found it quite interesting.
Yeah.
And I got a scholarship, so I kind of, let's do that.
Yeah.
Why not?
So what was the scholarship?
It was University of Canterbury. There was like a program with my high school.
Cool.
Yeah, and then that's why I decided. But I can tell that in your answer, one, you get to know that to be a professional soccer player, you need to have some opportunities at certain age where you have to get exposed to before it goes further.
Yeah.
And that's, so I suppose, where do you get the information? How did you know about that?
How did I know about that? I think it was me seeing other, like, friend of mine who are good at football and seeing, like, what they were doing. Like, for example, like, I had a friend who was playing in, like, top division in Wellington. So they're not professional, but I guess maybe a couple of steps behind professional. And some of them would play with like, because there's Wellington Phoenix, which is a professional football team in New Zealand. So they're fully professional, and some of those guys come from these kind of places. Yeah. So you don't get picked just out of nowhere, Yeah. So the scouts, so they're football scouts. They look at so I guess for me, I just saw how did these professional players become professionals? It's kind of transitions, right? Yeah. So, and I think there's always that, but at the same time, I think bottom line is I realized, I'm nowhere near good enough. Like, I'm not even close to, being good enough. Like, if I was really good, and if there's a chance, then I'm like, okay, maybe if I tried for like another year or something, then it might work. But I could tell, like, there were people like younger than me that they were way better than me.
When you say better, is it the skills, the scores? How can you tell that they're better?
Oh, it's just everything. I mean, so with art and sports, sometimes it's kind of hard to tell, right? So it's kind of subjective. Yeah. But in the kind of in the amateur level, you can quite often tell who's better because the difference is so much. Yeah, in the professional level, it's really hard to stand out because they only pick best of the best, But in the amateur level, you can tell easier because, so some people that are really good and some people that are okay. And I'm probably in the okay bracket. So which is fine if I just want to play football. And if I try hard, maybe I might play in a higher division. But in terms of going professional, like, you have to be the best, wherever you go, basically. Then you might make it. But I think scary thing is, so I had friends who I thought, like, man, like, how can you be better than these guys? They're like so good, and they are now so obviously, like, a lot of several years have passed since then, and some of them have tried to go, be professional, and they're not professional football players. So looking back, I'm like, I made the right decision. Like, they didn't make it. The chances of me making it would have been even slimmer. So but no,
Sports is a hard way, like with this mass people and then going to the top of the top. That slime chance. They're so good, but it is a tough road to.
Yeah, it's a tough road. Yeah, I think especially with football, it's so competitive. Everyone, it's the biggest sports in the world. So many people wants to be football players. Yeah, there's like so one of the teams that you might have heard of is Manchester United, one of the biggest teams in the world, right? And I saw an article of this guy who's, I don't know, maybe early 20s or something, who used to be in like Manchester United, like under, I don't know, 12 or under 15 team. And like he's a superstar. When you're in Manchester United under 12, under 15, you're one of the best under 12 or under 15 players in the world, right?
Yeah.
At least the team thinks you might, and the team think you might go to the next level and become the next Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi, but the reality is, of course, not all of those under 12 or under 15s make it to the next level. And for these guys, because of how like focused they are at developing these players as good football players, they're all in on this football. So so the article was saying when this person got dropped, maybe he got dropped like a little bit later, maybe under 21, and he didn't make it to the next level or something. But when this person got dropped, so he would be like 20. He didn't have, so he's really good at football, but not good enough to be a professional. He invested everything in football, so he didn't have any education, like higher education. And I guess he didn't really have skills to learn as much, maybe. So he ended up being like doing like a tradie jobs, and that's something that to me it sounded like that's not what he wanted to do. I guess for him there was no other option. So man, that's going from like becoming a potential superstar, earning $1 million per year, to doing a job you don't like and earning much less, right? And man, when I read that, I was like, that's a tough road. That's a tough road in terms of mentally, physically, and also it's a very risky one too. And even if you make it and you get injured, some players, like, they get injured once and they end the career. That ends the career. That's rough.
I don't know how they're going to take it. It's really life crushes on you.
Oh, definitely. Like, that's why I have a lot of respect for the top athletes, because obviously they're good basketball players, football players, but I think their mental, like, I feel like they will be on the next level to even deal with the pressure of performing, because if you don't perform, fans, they're gonna hate you. They're gonna love you one day, you play bad, they're gonna hate you the next day. Like, just thinking that, and fans, like, say you play for Man United, millions and millions all over the world. Oh my goodness, I don't know. That's crazy to me.
It is a lot of pressure, and like when you watch the Olympics, the
whole nation.
Everyone's watching it, and there was I remember when they do the like an air gun shooting, and the score is just really matching. And then so much pressure in the moment when you have to hold your breath, focus on nothing else but your score. Because if you have any distraction, any other thoughts, whether I'll win the gold or not win the gold, it's going to affect it.
I know, right?
You're just definitely going to lose.
Like the archery, the archers, in Korea, like, archery is quite big. And that's one of the things, like, Korea, they do well in the Olympics. And apparently, like, they practice under, like, baseball stadium when there are, like, a lot of fans and they're all screaming and stuff. So they practice down there. So they, I guess, training with some distractions, That's crazy what people have to go through. But also what people can do, the limit of human mind.
Oh my God, that's another topic.
That's crazy, right?
Because there's another scientist say when people are born, people's IQ or your ability doesn't vary too much. Of course, there are exceptions, maybe you're a bit disabled in certain ways.
Right.
Without all the exceptions, everyone else is still average. There are not too many geniuses,
Yeah.
and there's not too many not as genius people.
Right.
And then it's all about your mindset, how you're learning, how you're training, and then
Yeah.
it becomes who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So that's more nurture than nature kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then sometimes, make us think we are where we are. Is it because of some bad habit that we have? What else can we do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mean like we don't have choices kind of thing? Or
I personally feel like self-discipline is the biggest, self-discipline and fear are the biggest thing that's holding people back.
self-discipline and fear. Fear of like failing,
Yeah.
unknown.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
Not brave enough to try or to face the failure, to face the risk.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely one of those.
You think so?
I think so.
Oh, I think one of the things I really admire about you, and I noticed in denim too, that you are always open to trying new things. In my opinion, like, I remember you told me a story where I think you're in school and there were I don't know, there were like some military people at your school and they were doing like these exercises and none of your classmates didn't want to do it. And do you remember that? Yeah. So and you were the only one that kind of wanted to do it, kind of thing. And I could picture that. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like that's like very Jenny to me.
That's good, Yeah.
Yeah, that's very Jenny to me. I respect that. I admire that.
Thank you. And I like it that I feel like I'm not the kind of person that really reads myself very well. So most of the time I know about myself by getting feedbacks and reflections from others.
Yeah.
Sometimes people might not be directly feeding back to me, but they might be reacting in certain ways. And then I'll be noticing a difference and then realize, oh, why is that?
Yeah.
And then thinking, okay, what does that mean about me?
Right.
And then, for example, the self-discipline, it's this kind of things that I really appreciate. And I'm actually trying to do that at work right now, asking all my managers to give me direct feedback, please. Because I do want to improve and I just want to know how I can improve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think you're good at, because, some people are bad at getting feedback, right? Like they take it personally. And I can, it's not the easiest thing to do. If someone says, oh, Jenny, you can do this better. Even if they mean it really nicely, it's hard not to take it as, oh, okay, I'm shit.
Yeah.
Are you good at taking like criticism and feedback kind of thing?
I wouldn't think I'm good at it, but I definitely think especially recently, I'm willing to try more.
Yeah.
I'm willing to not take things personally.
Yeah.
I actually feel like a lot of things is not about for me, the difficulty is not about taking them personally.
Yeah.
It's how the message has been delivered.
Yeah.
I think it might be because of the girl thing. Like guys, you hear the content of the message.
Right.
Where girls hear the tones of the message.
I think it's important though. I think when you get feedback, there are two roles, right? There's receiver and a giver. And when you give feedback, I think receiver, their role is to not take it personally and obviously work on the feedback. And I think the giver's role is to deliver the message, in a like least painful way. Like if you're gonna give an injection to someone, you wanna give it in the best way possible,
Yeah. And then that requires that person to. So if I'm trying to give a feedback to you, it will require me to try to understand you better. What kind of person you are, what kind of personality, how do you usually react, this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And what's the best way for you to hear the information?
Yeah.
Because how I say it might be different of how you hear it.
Yeah.
And then how I can deliver in the way that you are hearing it.
Yeah.
That's another skill, I think.
Oh, that's definitely a skill. Like there's like a communication skill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's such an important skill. But it's not really being taught, as in like, or at least like, I don't know, maybe it is being taught and I don't know much about it.
I don't think it's taught.
Right.
This is one thing I admire Kiwis, locals. From growing up, there's so much opportunities for people to learn from others on this
Okay.
that I feel like I'm missing out.
Okay.
I remember doing part-time waitress work when I was in in uni days. My manager is a lot younger than me, which I didn't realize until almost when I left. She just handles stuff so maturely.
Right.
She is able to understand what the customer wants.
Yeah.
Understand not only what they want, but also what was the reason they were wanting this. So providing the constant service that the customer prefers.
Yeah.
And also when situation happens, how to handle that in a professional way.
Yeah.
I think over here it's never taught in school, but it's been practiced. And
you think so? Yeah.
At least here you are given the opportunity to practice.
Oh, okay. In what way?
I feel like, say, over here, the childcare system, it's all a bunch of kids playing with each other. And the teacher is not providing too much more, but just monitoring, noting down stuff, giving feedback to the parent.
Right.
So that's the initial start of how am I going to communicate with other people that's not my parent, that's always thinking for me.
Yeah.
There will be conflict of interest, fighting for the toy or stuff like that. How do I deal with it? And then later on, I think school days, there's friend group, there's extracurricular activities. All of this, I think, are training people's communication skills.
Yeah, yeah. And that's similar in China, right?
Not as much, I would say. Maybe these days, but not when I was growing up.
Right.
Also, I should say, China is very big, so I'm not representing all China.
That's true.
My city is a second-tier city.
Okay.
If you go to a first-tier city, it's a lot more international. It's a lot more, I suppose, personality or like person-focused.
Yeah.
Could be different, but where like the small environment that I grew up in, it wasn't emphasized much.
Okay. Right, right. That's interesting.
But communication is key. Like
communication is key. Yeah, yeah. It's funny you say that because you know Lisa, right? I interviewed Lisa for episode 6, so tune in for that. It's a good episode.
I look forward to hearing it.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a good one, and so Lisa is a teacher, and she was applying for a different kind of role in the school, and then it's all about communications. It's like the most important skill for that role, and she did this, and at the end she did this really like cool thing, like what I think is like one of the best, because at the job interview she was preparing for it. And then she did the job interview and she told me how it went. And she got the job. She said she got the job. And then she told me how the interview went. And she said she thinks like the favorite part about the interview was, at the end of the interview, they always ask you, is there any questions you want to ask us? And she said, yes, I do have a question. What do you do when you're locked out of your flat? So that's what she asked them.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, it's obviously like a joke, right? It's like setting up for a joke. But it's a question. And then the interviewer said, oh, like, what do you do? And Lisa said, you call your flatmates because communications is key.
That's a cool one.
It's a good one, right? It's a good one, right? Yeah, when I heard that, I'm like, Lisa's a genius.
Did she come out to her for herself? Did she?
I did ask her in the interview. I think she said she got it from Google or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think the way she pulled it off is a good one, I think. Like, you know, you can get all the advice from Google, get all the jokes from Google, but to pull it off, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of charisma, I think.
Yeah.
And she did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so good. When I heard that, I'm like, damn, Lisa's a genius.
And I think like this is another thing I learned about chit chat. It's a culture thing. I think in all English speaking cultures, be able to chit chat.
Yeah.
How do you chit chat? I think I have been known to be a conversation killer for a long time because I don't know how to make jokes. Well, I'm fine to make friends. I know people are very kind to me and I can be friends. But like that kind of jokes or being able to pull off smart conversations or even to respond whatever people are talking about with your own insight.
Yeah?
They're all skills. That's all skills.
You don't think you're good at that?
No.
Really? I think you're good at that.
I do not think I was at all.
Really?
Like I'm the opposite side, I think.
Yeah. No.
But this few years I've been making a lot of good friends. And I think I'm getting confidence from them.
Yeah.
I mean, including you.
Yeah.
It's being comfortable with friends that really help.
Yeah. That definitely helps. But Denim is like the king of chit chat.
That's very good.
So you're, you know, like really doing the training like 24/7, you know?
But I do think, you know, when you join here, do you feel like not being able to, do you feel, you know, when we go back to when we say kids here have more opportunities to expose to this. But I suppose the downside is if you haven't learned the skills quickly.
Yeah.
For example, what was that word? Some kids might keep things to themselves, like a little world of their own.
Okay. Like introvert?
Yes, there's a certain degree of disease when you're just unable to understand.
Like
Find it a bit difficult.
It would be
Sorry, I think I'm going off track. Doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter to the dog. I'm just saying. So if kids are able to capture the skills quickly from others,
autism.
Because you don't. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And then before you get to a actual problem, there are people having severe levels where you're not an issue, but you could be having that kind of trend.
Yeah.
And then people might struggle with capturing what the social clues are.
Yeah.
And then quickly learn how to best survive in the group. Would having too much opportunities to practice communication and not being able to be good at it cause problems of feeling lonely and feeling getting left out or not confident? I don't know.
Could do. Could be. But I think that's better than less opportunities, I think. Because I think with more opportunities, you know, those kids, whether they're they have like autism or symptoms of autism, or maybe they are into like maybe they're into like really niche topic, like a podcast or something. But you know, some because I heard this YouTuber, he grew up being like wanting to do YouTube, and all his spare time went into YouTube, but there was no one like him. So he just, when he went to school, he didn't talk to anyone. And when he gets home, he just talks to the camera, like recording and stuff. And I think with more opportunities, you know, it's always a good thing because that person might meet another person who's obsessed with YouTube. And you know, a lot of other kids might, you know, find with other things in common with other kids. So, yeah.
But how would their previous years of experience, all these years of growing up, how is that affecting their own growth? Like how we said previously, nurturing is more than nature. So like this kind of things will impact on this person's personality and how they become who they are.
Yeah. That's a philosophical question. Eh?
No, I don't know the answer.
Yeah, like why are we into, like, I mean, so people are so different too, right? People like, you know, like I love tennis and some people love golf. And like I have a friend who goes fishing like every weekend. And I've been fishing once and it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me.
Why was it not?
It was to me, I think to me, if I'm doing like kind of a sport, I think I prefer it to be a bit more dynamic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with fishing it's a lot of waiting and well, maybe it's because I wasn't good. But like I went with my uncle and he said to him the best part is when you feel that the fish bites the hook and then when you pull it and the hook obviously hooks into the fish and you get the fish out, right? And he said that's the best part. And I didn't really feel that. I was like, oh, okay, cool, I did it. And then I didn't really feel much from that. So that's why I think maybe fishing isn't for me. But some people love fishing.
Yeah. I haven't met someone not long ago. He loves fishing.
Yeah.
And daily chats, you know, he's quite cool. Just, you know, just whatever.
Yeah.
And then when he talks to fish, he's like, oh yes, Jenny, let me show you this photo. We got this fish of this, you know, what special or very rare species on this lawn. We went out to whatever area, and then the captain of the boat was sharing us about this and this.
Right.
And then he's saying that because it's a deep sea hook, you don't have one, you have multiple.
Oh wow!
And then when it's done, because it's so deep down, the wave will be. The waves on the surface will be pushing on the line. Okay. So you'll always be feeling those little push.
Okay.
Therefore, for them, how they enjoy it, what they enjoy about fishing is to be able to have a finger there and identify whether that's the wave or is it the fish, or even to be able to tell which fish.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, now once the fish is on it, you'll confirm about this. When do you drag?
Yeah.
Because if it's too quick, then it might just pinch through the lip and then the fish will be gone.
Yeah.
If you wait it for too long, it might be deep in there and it's a pain to take it out.
Okay.
So like all of the, so I feel like their interest is how to perfect.
Yeah. How to perfect it.
Yeah. And then they love to be able to do that.
Yeah. Oh, good on it.
Interesting.
I think I love seeing people loving what they do and, you know, passionate about things like that. I mean, again, it's not really for me, but yeah, it's
just hearing what they say, what they do. It's so interesting.
It is interesting, yeah. And I think it's really interesting how we're fascinated about such different things.
Yeah.
So for you, because you're an accountant, Jenny.
Yes.
Is accounting a passion or is it a job? Or is it, it could be both.
Yeah. How to define? As a whether I'm reading accounting books outside of work?
Yeah.
Would you call that? Or would you?
How to define it? I guess it's, how about, because you did accounting at the university. Before we go on, I've got some vitamin water, Jenny.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I forgot to put it in the fridge, so they are lukewarm. They're like room temperature.
You don't know. Actually, I prefer that.
Is that right?
I do.
Right? Well, which one would you like? There's what is this one? Power dragon fruit flavor. Or what's that?
This is a defense lemonade flavor.
Okay. So which
What
one
is
would
your
you like?
favorite?
Oh, I'm easy, Jenny.
Have you tried them before?
I haven't tried both of them, so they're equal to me, right now. So any preference, Jenny?
Do you feel like a defender or do you feel like a dragon?
Right now, I'm a bit more curious about this one.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that one, Jenny?
Or you're interviewing, so be a tech. I'll be the defender.
Makes sense.
Thank you for the drink.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hope you like it. How's that?
Not bad. I like that it's like lemonade. It's nice, tasty, but it's not fizzy.
Oh, you don't like fizzy?
Fizzy drinks tend to be very sweet.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just want water.
Yeah.
You want the flavor of water.
Yeah. I do like this. It's not too overpowering. I just go to like a store and see what's on special.
Yeah.
It's also special. So
That's a good call.
But I'm, hoping to get some sponsor, because I usually get like iced tea for the guest or the vitamin water.
Yeah.
Or yesterday with my guest, I had a guest yesterday, Jenny.
Yeah.
Nicole Jackson. So, so if you're watching this, you should go back to one episode and then watch that episode too. And if you have seen that episode, watch it again. There's something something you didn't pick up.
Yeah. Always
right,
go
right?
back.
Yeah, always go back and study, right? Yeah. Especially when the episode is like 2 hour, 40-minute long, like it's a long time. So
you know sometimes you're missing stuff.
You're missing stuff. And yesterday we had so she was going to like a lunch event and they were gonna drink a lot there. So I'm like, and we had the podcast before lunch. So it was like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. or something.
Oh, yeah.
And I brought, but I was like, if she's going to drink at lunch, we could get a early head start. So I brought some ciders. So 10 a.m. we were having cider at work, at the work building, just sipping on ciders.
Yeah.
But that was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. She's so nice. Yeah. She's starting she started a podcast recently. Yeah. So I was asking her about that. It's about, woman in corporate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Does it apply to you, Jenny? Is your work, is that corporate?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what defines corporate, but I guess like big company and all that, right?
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, big companies, I guess, yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
The different departments and all the whole... I think feminism is having a bad tones on it right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But the beginning was good.
Yeah.
How people start with it is good. And women in corporate, like females, didn't have too much, not a very long time, trying to be leadership, trying to be empowered.
Yeah.
I'll say this is a very interesting topic.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I've been learning a lot. They've released 3 episodes.
Right.
It's called She Takes on Corporate. Instagram, on Spotify. And yeah, the first episode they were saying, it's only kind of recent. I don't know how many years it dates back, but only recent years when women were kind of allowed to be, not allowed, but I remember it saying something like, so that's right. I think World War I or World War II, men obviously go to war and there's like, positions to be filled when those men were, right? So women go to work, to fill those positions, working there full time. And then end of war, the men come back and then the women that were there, were kind of being, in a way, forced back to like just being at home kind of thing. But there were a lot of women that still wanted to work. And I think that conflict, it sounded like that kind of conflict sparked the, I feel, I don't want to say this and give out misinformation, but I think there was one of the events that kind of made it memorable. Like, women could, they could be at work. Why not? You know, why shouldn't they be, kind of thing? Maybe it was the start of the discussions and things. So, I think it's. I mean, I think it's cool. I think they're obviously they're really passionate. So it's Nick and Amandeep. They both work at ASB. They're both clearly quite passionate. They're, from what I can see, they thrive at the job they're at, and they want to help people. And the podcasts are pretty like it's quite professional.
Yeah.
It's really well made. It's informative too. So it's kind of inspiring.
What kind of topics do they cover?
So the first episode they covered, I think at least there was that history bit of it, and the second episode, I can't remember the second episode. The third episode was about like branding yourself and what that means in corporate world, and why you need brand, like self brand and stuff like that. Because that's another word that's kind of overused these days too. Self branding, like influencers, and things like that. But in the corporate world, obviously it means a little bit different to being an Instagram influencer. And it was cool. Like, I guess in some sense, I mean, I'm not in a corporate, I'm not a woman, but to me it was interesting.
Would you not think that you're in a corporate?
Oh, would I not say that?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, because we are only our company is like 16, 17 people. I feel like more of a small company than a corporate. I feel like. Yeah, corporate, I just imagine like big buildings. Everyone knows their names. A and Z,
Yeah. I think it is quite different for corporates with all the other departments, or even different floors, different branches, different locations, and then not everyone knows who you are.
Yeah.
And then how to be able to do well.
Yeah.
Thriving in that environment is different from in your class, and then how to do well in the class, and then the teacher knows every student.
Yeah.
It's a bit different.
That's true. You kind of have to a lot of it is kind of up to you to pave your own path, kind of thing.
Yeah. And that's something I do feel is females tend to lack that kind of feature than males.
Okay.
Like I think it's Harvard Business Review.
Oh, okay.
There were people that also talking about similar topics.
Right.
And then one of them I read was about girls really like to say no. Say sorry.
Oh, girls like to say sorry. Right. Okay.
And in a professional place, sometimes it's not your fault, but you just like to start with, "Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll start on this." Or,
right.
"Okay, sorry. Yes, I'll."
Right.
Whatever. And it's actually a reflection of mentality. It's not just saying sorry, but it's also accepting that I might not be right, and I might not be even in the same position with the next person. I might not be as powerful as the next person. Therefore, I need to be more humble. I need to work harder. I need to really do more just to be equal with the other person. It's interesting.
Yeah,
I'll definitely give it a listen.
Yeah. I can recommend it. Yeah. So, how is it in your workplace, Jenny?
With females?
Yeah. Like as a woman in corporate.
Yeah. My office I think is really good in this kind of thing.
Awesome.
One of my partner, so we have departments and then we have teams within the departments. My team, we have a couple of partners that's we're working closely with, and one of them, she's a female herself, and she's really big on how to help females with leadership.
Yeah.
Not as big as female in corporate, but she's really devoting herself onto helping other females to obtain leadership and how to get better in this kind of professional accounting workplace. My team is not like we have more females than males.
Okay.
Interestingly, and part of them could be that I think in business school, accounting department is one of the department that has relatively half-half.
Okay.
Engineering and science, there's like imbalance, and then arts, the other imbalance.
Yeah.
Business school is usually half-half, I say. And then in our team specifically, we do have a lot of managers and senior managers that they are female, and they do set really good examples.
Oh, that's good.
They might have a family or kids. They might not have it. It's all their life choice.
Right.
But they show us how to, if they need to balance, how to balance it, how they treat their, after work life, how they take ownership at work and also take care of all the team members. And at the same time, focus on themselves and their developments and their mental health.
Yeah.
I really reckon that our team has a really good culture.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we're not just focusing on females.
Yeah.
I think 2 weeks ago, there was the pink shirt day.
Oh, yeah.
About bullying.
Yeah.
And then we're all big on that.
Yeah.
Almost everyone's wearing pink shirt. We had last Thursday also is the pink ribbon day.
Oh, okay.
And then we had the brunch event. We made like nearly $2,000 donation.
Really? So good.
Yeah, we do like try to pay attention to different aspects.
Yeah.
And then helping every individual.
Yeah.
No matter what kind of person you see yourself.
That's cool. That's cool. I think before drink, I was asking you, and we got distracted. But good distraction. Do you see accounting as passion?
Oh, yeah.
Is it your passion or is it your job? And I think I was gonna say, because you did accounting in undergrad and went on to do it in masters, right? And yeah, I think doing masters is like another step, right? So you must have been must have been some sort of passion to do that. Or do you think so or not?
Yeah, I wouldn't say this is just my job. I love the business insights.
Yeah.
It's a difficult question. I think I have the feeling it's difficult to articulate how I feel into words.
Right.
I think I might need your help to maybe direct with other questions, how I can best answer.
True. Say they made doing accounting illegal. Would you still do it?
I might do a variation of accounting that's not illegal.
Okay. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Accounting, I see accounting not just accounting. It's not, people say numbers or people say debit credit. Accounting itself has a big range. So we have the compliance part.
Okay.
Which is what the law says.
Right.
How we can help the business to comply with the law. Which is that's the compliance part.
Yeah.
And then the compliance also includes how to do the financial statement, whether you need to display to the public or not to the public. And there's the part that's just tax related, making sure that the business, you're paying the correct amount of tax and not doing tax avoidance.
Yeah.
And there was also business advisory, and then that could be in in our side, the business advisory, it could just be helping you with, it's very difficult to say range. There's no scope. Anything the client might need.
Right.
Or we see that you'll be benefit from it.
Yeah.
It's business advisory.
Right.
So there's no limitation to it.
Yeah.
But usually they will be involving in business operation, business structure. There's also it's called FAS, Financial Advisory Services, where there will be liquidation or valuation when they do merger and acquisitions. When one business is selling, one business buying, how do we agree that this is the fair price?
Right. Oh my goodness, that sounds tough. That sounds like a tough question to ask.
To decide?
Yeah.
Yes,
decide
it is.
That. Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's also law that's saying, okay, how do we know you're not just agreeing on something so that whether that's tax part or because tax, there's also New Zealand tax and there's international tax. And then people can be taking advantage of the differences in the tax regulations in different countries.
Yeah.
So it's a whole range of stuff.
So do you know tax regulations in other countries, Jenny?
Not in details, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, but
it's interesting.
Some up to some level, right?
I suppose we do sometimes encounter a bit of the inbound work.
Okay.
So other business having something to do with New Zealand.
Yeah.
They want to have a New Zealand branch, for example, and then we'll be helping them. So we'll have exposure of, okay, what were you doing? And then how can you comply to New Zealand law? But we're still mostly focused on New Zealand law.
Yeah.
I think international tax is a very interesting topic.
What tax, sorry?
International
tax, yeah.
It's a very fascinating topic.
Yeah.
But I myself hasn't been involved too much.
All
Just
right.
go back to the thing that I was saying. Accounting is such a big range.
It sounds like you enjoy it.
I think I do. Maybe that's the answer.
Yeah,
You've helped me get there.
Yeah, I think you enjoy it. I think seeing you talk about it, because I mean, hearing a lot of those jargons, it sounds stressful to me. But to me, at least, it looks like it's exciting to you. Some sense, yeah.
I think I do find, at the start, studying accounting, I thought it's just accounting principles, how to record everything accurately, how to make sure that they're not lying.
That's what I imagine.
Yeah. But later on, I studied either commercial law or we're going IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards. And that's when it comes to the time that people realize different countries have such different standards. Yeah. And there are multi-nation corporates. And then how are we going to make sure the agreed part, the final part, people might not be trying to do fraud. Yeah. But it's just because of the standards, it's making the final result might be misleading to certain investors of certain places. Yeah. Because of how they grow up, so how their concept of certain stuff will be different from the other people. And then there will be all these kind of regulations that, I should say regulation rather than law, because there's the country's law. There's also how business sectors in the whole world decided that we'll have a board, BOARD. Oh
yeah, like board.
Board.
Yeah.
To regulate that the system is correct. Okay. That people are not making chicken loopholes in there, or helping everyone to understand each other. Yeah. It's a very big range, and there's the advisory part that dealing with finance, more finance. Yeah. And more when there's deviations, what's gonna happen next? Yeah. There's other things. These are the things.
Doing like business overseas sounds like a nightmare for accountants.
Doing the business overseas?
Yeah, just like, I don't know, maybe like merging with overseas company from like and the New Zealand company or something. I don't know, that sounds like a nightmare. Like a lot of things to consider and
They are.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm not expert in this. I shouldn't be saying too much of what steps is involved. I did get involved in one of my internship with the IPO. It's called Initial Public Offering. So when a firm goes big enough, they're able to go listed. And then when they do that, they need a due diligence with the investment banks.
Okay.
They will help. Investment banks will deal with a lot of merger and acquisition. They also deal with like IPOs.
Right.
And then with IPOs, they do a due diligence, which is why you say all these considerations, all the risk, all the assumptions.
Yeah.
And then there will be auditors, and then there will be accountants, and then there will be lawyers. Like everyone have to put in their expertise into the process. Months long process to the end.
Meetings
Give
after
it.
meetings.
But when you go to the result, you know that you achieve something big.
Man, but I'll be anxious. What if I forgot to add $2 at the beginning of the step, and now it's all ruined, and now it's too late to bring it out. Like, you know, we've already spent 5 months on this.
Yeah. Lawyers will be usually quite worried about this.
Yeah. And all things, the principle of accounting is balancing things, right? Is that right?
You mean, sorry, what kind of principles?
Oh, I don't know. I was hoping you would say yes and then elaborate on it.
Oh, in a way, yes.
Yeah, cool. That's good to know.
Yeah. Did you mean debit and credit? The balance?
I was reading. I've been reading a book on like it's called Shoe Dog, and it's written by one of the founders of Nike.
Oh yeah.
And then he like, it's a memoir, and then he explains like how he found Nike, and he keeps talking about like equity and liquidity. And are those accounting terms?
Business terms.
Business terms, right. Because I don't know what they mean. And he says like, it's the things like I don't know. I think equity has to be balanced or something, or like So I assume that's like a accounting thing.
Yeah. There are a few things that we try to balance. Debit credit is one thing. Every journal that we put in, debits needs to be equal to credit. And that come from, I don't want to say the years wrong, very bad memory, but many years ago when accounting first started, when people were just recording 1 and 2, and then we draw 2 straws, put it aside. But then recording this piece of information, having 2 waters here, tomorrow there might be 1, but we don't know if I recorded it wrong, if I just miscounted, or one of them was stolen. So, and when it comes to like big business stuff, a lot of mistakes can be happening, and they just become very messy. So many years ago, there's a system that's it's called double entry system. Okay. That's when this very smart person, I can't remember the name, created a debit and credit system.
Okay.
Every transaction, anything that happened, it will be a debit side and a credit side.
Okay.
And rather than just putting in these 2 water bottles, or I sell you 2 water bottles, 2 waters, and you give me the money with transaction, goes in P&L. And it becomes, and we have to put, oh my God, how am I going to describe it? Anything it can be balance sheet or profit and loss spreadsheet. It can be either, but down to the end, the debit side will always be equal to the credit side.
Right.
And then it will be showing in your final balance sheet that the assets minus liabilities were equal to your equity.
Okay.
It wouldn't, if you can see, so the system creates some double checking.
Okay.
And it creates assurance. To the recording system.
Right.
So what I said is the balance is not necessary when you do accounting, when you do recording and a business activity.
Yeah.
But it's such a perfect system that now you eliminate so much mistakes.
Really?
You are now able to have a very easy, clear system to see whether there have been crazy mistakes. It becomes it helps eliminate human errors.
Yeah.
But of course, after that, when you have all the financial statements, the auditors or the accountants will look at it and say, is there other material mistakes? There are other kind of mistakes that are balanced on debit credit, but there could be other kind of mistakes. Like it can be doubling debit and doubling credit.
Yeah.
It's balancing, but it's not right.
Yeah.
So there were other things to check on, but the system of that kind of balance, it helps so much with people recording the business.
Damn. So did that person who came up with that, are they like an accountant or are they like a professor of accounting in like a university and they release a paper, they write a paper on that or something? Or because in maths or at least in science, for example, quite often it's you get the information, like the information becomes public when someone writes a paper on it. You know? Is it similar in accounting?
Could be. Maybe when I learned this 11 years ago.
Yeah.
I suppose I kind of just recognize the importance of the thing that they find out. And not pay too much attention of how this person finds out.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But
that's cool.
That's a good system.
Yeah.
With the research, like how you said though, there are some other fundamental paper research that we discovered. And I don't know where I'm going with it. Yes, I know what you mean. There are those papers and then they have fundamental impact on the whole accounting industry.
Yeah. Because your master's thesis, Jenny, do you remember the title of it? It's quite long. I looked it up. It's quite long.
You look it up?
I looked it up, yeah. I wonder if you remember it. Because obviously you wrote it. Do you remember it?
I think it's the timing difference. And it's researching on restatements.
There's like a title and a kind of subtitle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
So it starts with the timing of accounting restatements.
Okay, yes.
On examination of the strategic disclosure hypothesis.
Yeah, okay. How did I come up with the title? I don't know.
Oh my, what does it even mean? Is it easy to explain?
Yes, the research was based on US data because there are a lot more American listed. The stock market in US is a lot more liquid than New Zealand ones, and then there are a lot more data available to the public, to researchers.
A lot more liquid?
I think more transactions happening.
Okay.
So they're the firms
Yeah.
that's doing the business. And when they go listed to the stock market, people will be buying and selling shares on it.
Okay.
Or bonds or anything related to this. I'm going a bit off topic, just talking about liquidity.
Yeah.
So there's the fundamental value of this business, how well this business is doing.
Right.
There's also how normal investors or other people are anticipating this business doing, which is what the stock market is actually.
Yeah, that's true.
Working.
Yeah.
New Zealand market, the stock market is not very liquid. I think not as many firms and then not as many transactions.
Yeah.
Because the more transactions happening, the more accurate it's the stock price is capturing the investors' knowledge or anticipations or how they know or feel, and changing price can reflect either their confidence in this firm or of the market, or their reflections of what they know. It can be either or, so it can be anticipation or the fundamental what's actually happening in this firm.
That makes sense.
So yes, and then with that, and then going back to the research paper many years ago again, there's a very important paper, I think, written by Ball and Brown.
Okay.
Disclaimer, I might be wrong. But I'm sure whoever studied, like everyone studying accounting will know this is such a fundamental paper about disclosures. They're the first people that study, how are information released to the market and how are people reacting to the information. So my research is capturing the data in the stock market in the US, because there's more stuff, and then also noting down what information has been released by the business.
Right.
And I'm doing that by looking at the SEC, Security Exchange, I think it's Center. C is the American kind of regulators for the stock market. Every listed firm are required to make a lot of disclosure to the public. They have to be they have to be true information, and then they will be published. SEC will stock and give it out. So I can go into SEC, obtain a lot of information, and then the particular information I'm extracting is called restatements. And what restatements are is whenever a firm give out their financial statements, say 2022, I've made this much money. I've had this much assets, property or whatever. Like I have this much assets, this much liabilities. I own this people debt. But 6 months later, oops, there was a mistake. It could be an innocent mistake. Something happened. It could be not innocent, but just what I figure out later on. Say, for example, I have $2 million with the customers that I already sell the stuff. They are supposed to pay me, and they will be paying me in 2023. 6 months later, one of them is disappeared, like they bankrupt, or the person disappeared, or the business disappeared. Like things can be happening that was not noted down when I prepare and publish my information in 2022. There are certain, so I'm just giving examples, but there are certain stuff that's listed that you need to be disclosing as restatements. Might not be those, could be anything. If the company find out that what I have been disclosed last year needs to be corrected, needs to be or additional disclosure. It might not be wrong, but I need to make additional disclosure so that the public know. It's called a restatement. And that there's a form you have to fill out. So I captured that information, what has been restated, what kind of impact they should be given. And I capture what the stock market is happening. And then what I'm trying to find is the third factor. When do the managers give the disclosure? Whether that have an impact of how the stock market is reacting. Because we know this information will always have this impact. There have been a lot of research doing that. good restatements, positive market reaction.
Yeah.
Bad restatements, negative
That makes
reaction.
sense. Yeah.
And it's usually aligned, right?
Yeah.
Now, what I'm trying to find out is, if they disclose it in a tricky time, like just before Christmas, 23rd of December, people are off, people are having holidays.
Yeah.
Do the market react the same way?
They wouldn't know. They might not know.
They might not know.
Yeah.
They might be checking, but they might not be checking.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. And then there was, some evidence has been found out with other financial statements that market is reacting differently. And then second thing is, would the managers purposely try to disclose them in a different time so that they can further manipulate the market reaction in their favor?
Yeah, you think so?
Well, this is what I'm trying to figure out in the research.
What did you figure out?
It's hard to tell. So maybe you can do a PhD on this.
You need to, Jenny. You need to.
There was no clear evidence to say that the managers are purposely doing it.
Right.
But it's not eliminating the possibilities. I was just saying, with the data that I have, I've used within this 10 years, I do not find a clear correlation between this.
You don't find that. So because you didn't find any evidence that anyone's doing it purposefully. Did you find any evidence that the timing matters?
The timing does matter.
Does matter, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But it, how do you say, it's as a scientific research paper, you can't claim anyone intentionally doing anything.
Yeah. It's so hard. Yeah, that would be tough. And also, if they were intentionally timing it to their advantage, is that illegal? Or do they have to make the restatement as soon as they find out?
There's a time limit.
There's a time limit, yeah.
Yes.
So it might not be illegal even if they, time it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can be disclosing them at the time you can disclose it. And the regulation can only say that you have to give in within this limit.
Yeah.
But if they strictly choose Fridays, public holidays, stuff like that, it won't say that's illegal.
That's not illegal, right? Yeah.
So and on that note, how can you tell that if the restatement is put out on the 23rd of December? Is that intentional, or is that they were rushing through to the last minute?
Could be.
And then it will be illegal if they come back to it. So they have to do that on that time.
Yeah.
They're really rushing to that minute.
Yeah.
You can't tell.
Maybe they were really busy, right? Yeah.
It could be that situation. So it's none of the discussion of the research was whether they have done this intentionally.
Yeah.
All of them is to say with the stats I have, whether I can find a correlation of this positive, negative news, the timing and the result. And if there's a very clear correlation to that, I can hypothesize that there might be some intention towards it.
True. If they're there, if they're always hitting the if they're always hitting the sweet spot, every time they do it, it's hitting the sweet spot, then it's a bit suspicious.
Yeah, it raised the suspicious.
Yeah.
I'm not making a conclusion, but it's for the further research.
Further research, yeah. I mean, another option could be to make the restriction a bit tighter. They have to report it, the next day or something, Yeah.
Which will definitely be impossible.
It will be. you will have to. The accountants, they will have to work hard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't
kill
be.
You guys, right?
It's physically impossible.
Oh, with that attitude, it would be impossible.
But yeah, corporate accountants have a reputation of working working overtime a lot on
Yeah.
month ends and year ends.
Yeah.
Just because of the deadlines, and then
Right.
so much, with those big firms, they can have 100 branches, for example.
Yeah.
And the 100 branches will all have the information getting ready within 3 days.
Yeah.
Very tight already.
Yeah. There's so
Making sure that's accurate, getting approved by managers, everything's done.
Yeah.
And after the 3 days, they have to all send it to the headquarter. Headquarter will have to check, analyze, they need to do further transactions, because there'll be intercompany transactions. It can be other things, like there'll be other accounting work has to be done on top of that. Getting prepared, getting reviewed, getting approved.
Yeah.
And then prepare, say, disclosures.
Yeah.
Analyze the staff, prepare annual report. Yeah, no, 1 day is not impossible. That's what I'm saying. It's a big process, big project.
Yeah, man. I feel like accountants already work hard. Like, that's true, right? Like, accountants often work overtime and stuff, right? In
Probably
general.
not as hard as doctors, but
Yeah.
say we're not easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you will have to like it, just like you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, your master sounds really interesting, Jenny. I went from what the hem does this mean to it sounds interesting. Like I when I read it, I was like, because I read the abstract too, and I didn't understand it, but you explained it well, and I was like,
thank you.
yeah, I kind of got it,
Yeah.
I was like, that is interesting. The timing matter.
Yeah. It's difficult when I write it.
When
with
you-
English
Yeah.
and abstracts and everything. I didn't think I did a good job with writing part.
Oh, you don't think so?
No, I spent a lot of time with designing the research,
Okay.
obtaining the data,
Yeah.
which is also quite difficult.
Yeah.
Cleaning the data.
Yeah.
And then I even get a stats friend to help me run the system, because they're like so much data that I can't run it in Excel.
Yeah.
It will crash.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I got a friend really, really helpful at that time.
Yeah.
He's a PhD and stats PhD in economic department.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So he's doing a stats PhD.
I should say he's. Yeah, he was PhD in economy.
Economy,
But
yeah.
he studied stats before. He was like a stats degree before.
Yeah.
Yeah, he offered a lot of so much help.
Yeah.
And just as a friend,
Yeah.
was not paid. I probably didn't even buy him a water.
You didn't buy him some vitamin water?
I should if I knew back then,
Yeah. Is he still around? Do you still talk to
No,
him?
he's in US now.
Oh, like
A
working
very smart
there.
guy.
Working in the US.
Yeah. I don't know what new research he's having right now.
Oh,
He's
is
done
he at
so
a
much.
university in the US?
I'm actually not too sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot of other stories, which I know you'll be interested.
Okay. Let's go.
Off record.
Okay. So after this?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I make a guess?
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe it can be like a paid content. If the viewers, pay for $2,
Yeah.
you can watch.
Yeah.
watch it,
60-40.
It's 64, 60?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 60. Yeah. And you help me with the taxes and things,
How much from Instagram? How much from Spotify?
Yeah, true. Oh my goodness.
What's your tax level?
Say I earn, because on YouTube, you can earn money, right? Like Google, like through ads and things. Say I earn like, I don't know, maybe $20 this year or something. I didn't. but I did. Do I have to pay tax for that, Jenny?
20?
Yeah, $20?
No. If
Okay.
you earn less than $200, it's okay to just keep it.
Just keep
but
it.
anything more than 200, you have to disclose it.
Right.
That's total. So,
Yeah.
you earn 20 here, 20 here, 20
Yeah.
here.
So say I earn $20 from YouTube, but I sold maybe I have a shoe selling business and I made $200 of that. Or say $180. So altogether it's $200.
Is your business under your name or a business name?
The shoe selling business. Can it be under business name?
Yeah.
Oh,
if you say have Pascal.com,
Yeah.
and then it goes to it's your company.
Okay.
You're the director, you're the shareholder, you're doing this. Then in accounting, I should say in commercial law.
Yeah.
Wait, is it commercial law? In taxation.
Okay.
I need to make myself correct. I'm so worried that I'm saying a lot of ambiguous stuff that might potentially be wrong.
Well, it sounds smart at least.
Maybe that's the goal. But yes, disclaimer, any tax questions, go to your tax accountant.
You should, yeah. This is only for
General
educational.
discussion. Yeah.
Wait, is that right? Educational purposes, entertainment purposes.
Yeah, that's fine. Because one thing I know all clients hate that we say is case by case.
Yeah, okay.
You can go to your seminar, listen to your presentation, say, and then let's say I have this and I do this. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Or we'll have to tell you, we need a bit more detail, a bit more accurate stuff, and then we can run down the scenario with you. But well, if you have your shoe business in your business name, then your $20 from YouTube will be fine under your name.
Yeah.
But if it's all you, then you're supposed to disclose it.
So all me is when I say I sell it on Trade Me or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In that case, I would have to. It's under my name.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. That makes sense. Yeah. Do you?
I suppose I should make it clear again. So if you have the $20, if it's not $20 from YouTube, it's what's a good example? So if it is a really rare one-off scenario, let's say you pick up $20 from the floor accidentally the other day, you don't need to add it on.
I don't need to.
But if it is somewhat related to your business or it's continuous,
right?
Yeah, it's different.
Right. And then how about this? I have a TV.
Yes.
I never use. I'm just selling it, but it's not like I'm not trying to do it. I guess I'm selling it not to earn money, but just so that I get rid of the TV and get money by doing it. And I say that sell the TV for $400. I don't need to claim that, right?
No, you don't.
I don't, right? It's only when I sell it as a business idea intention, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the flip side of that is, if you're doing this as business, you might pay $1,000 for this TV that you sold for $400.
Yeah.
And you get to claim that $1,000 too.
Yeah.
But if you're just by yourself, I got a second.
Yeah.
I got a second-hand stuff. I'm moving overseas. I don't need this anymore. I'll get rid of them. You didn't have the inventory cost.
Yeah.
And your gain is not.
Yeah.
It's your stuff.
I feel like a lot of business will try to do that and try to avoid taxes.
There are a lot of court cases to define what's a hobby and what's a business.
Right.
You can be having a garden and grow some carrots.
Yeah.
And then one Sunday you say, I have too many. I'm going to go to the market and sell them.
Yeah.
Is it a hobby?
Yeah.
Or is it a business?
True.
There are a lot of New Zealand cases, like court
Yeah.
cases.
Yeah.
New Zealand law is which law is it?
Are there different kinds of laws?
There's the one that's based on books, and there's one based on cases.
Oh, I didn't even know. 50-50.
No, it's a legal system.
Okay.
I'm just about to make an example, but I think I'm probably wrong again. But they are legal system.
Yeah.
So the whole country's legal system is based on cases. So the court can rule over certain stuff, and that becomes the new rule. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Those are the case by case legal system.
Okay.
And there are ones that's based on books.
Yeah. Okay.
So people will write out the whole law from the start, and then based on only the book.
Yeah.
New Zealand, for business, New Zealand is the case by case.
Is that right?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay.
Therefore, a lot of things are still in disclosure and argument.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
Things can be happening.
Yeah.
And there's so many cases where it's IRD v. who.
Okay.
Means the Inland Revenue might be suing someone for something because it's not clear.
Yeah.
And the lawyer on both sides, the Inland Revenue and the lawyer on the other side can be disagreeing in certain parts, and then they'll bring it to court, and then you have the local court.
Yeah.
You have the High Court, Supreme Court,
District Court.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
You have all of that different levels. You can say this, but I disagree. Let's bring it more.
Yeah.
Let's bring it on more.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's why taxation is very interesting as well. So
That is interesting.
tax is based on all of these laws.
Yeah.
So you're reading all of these cases and say, okay, what are the aspects or elements in this case? Every case can be like pages long. What are the elements in this case that make the court decide on this thing? So there was the underlying reason, and then the important cases you always remember.
Yeah.
Who v. who.
Yeah.
And then that becomes, how you're going to defend your situation.
Do you have to read much into that? Cases?
For taxation, mostly. I did it on my commercial law studies.
Oh, okay.
But not on the day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
If I'm in the tax department, I'll be slightly more involved. I'm not. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Now that does sound interesting. It's like almost like a law degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did think about I want a law degree. I like biology. I like science. I like law.
Yeah.
And I suppose to my third year, I was reading people's engineering textbook and think,
Oh my goodness.
it wouldn't be too difficult. It will be, that's a good achievement.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
But I think if I put my heart to it,
Yeah.
I won't be unable to do it.
I think so. Like I reckon you've got a master's, goes to show your intelligence level is obviously above a certain level. And I think, with that, you could do, I reckon most degrees, maybe fine arts. I don't know about fine arts or, where it's like technique based. But in terms of like studying and learning things, I think, you probably could, right? Do most of it, right?
And then they're interesting. Law degrees are interesting. And engineers are interesting.
Yeah.
Back in uni, I thought my goal is to get my PR and come back to a second degree.
Right.
Whether I can afford one. Because like engineering and law are so much longer than business. And will be a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
After I start working, I think I was too naive. How am I going to earn that much money and then support my own living and then stop my career development and just go back for a second degree? What? For fun?
But if you did like law degree or engineering degree, you can be an engineer or lawyer, and they earn a lot too, right?
Yes, but how? I suppose this is where my Chinese side comes in. I'll be thinking, if that's the case, I'm happy for it.
Yeah.
But it will be a big change because I'm forfeiting the last 11 years of my life with my accounting side.
Yeah.
With more business side, because accounting and finance and economy is like more business side. If there's something that actually I'm interested in that's in conjoint with something else, maybe. But if not, is this a wise choice for my life?
Right.
I'm the age I am.
Yeah.
There will be kids, there'll be other stuff.
true.
You know, how I'm going to, when I regret it later, how I'm going to help myself.
Jenny, that's really interesting question. And I want to talk more about it, but I need to pee.
I've heard your reputation.
Wait, from denim?
Yeah, you shared it here.
Yeah, I need to pee really bad. So, do you need to pee?
I think I'm all right.
Okay, yeah. But let me know anytime you need to. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, sweet.
Thanks.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm back. Hello. Every episode so far, Jenny,
Yes.
there's been a pee break.
Because you did the last episodes.
It was a long episode.
Yeah.
And I drink a lot too. Wait, let me get my water. Oh yeah, here's the book, Jenny. Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, a memoir by the creator of Nike.
Yeah.
It's a good book. It's a
Yeah.
good book for those of you who might want to read it. Did I tell you, Jenny? Like, I remembered when we talked about law and things. I did a jury duty. Jury duty. Maybe 2 weeks ago.
No, I don't think I know about that.
I think I forgot to tell you guys. Yeah, I got a mail maybe a month or two ago. Sorry. Yeah, and then and he said I've been selected to do a jury duty.
You just got the mail.
I just got a mail and I was like, bro, what do I do? And he said okay, turn up to Auckland District Court at this time on this day, and it might go on for couple of weeks longest, and it could be shorter. So I turned up, and yeah, it's have you done it before?
No, I have not.
It's a lot of waiting, because you might get picked, you might not, but it was really interesting. I didn't end up being in any of the jury, being in the jury for any of the cases, but the whole process of it, I went into a court for the first time.
Yeah.
And just seeing the lawyers, the judge, and I think, are they called magistrate or something? But people that helped moves the process along and stuff. And also the defendant and police,
Was
security.
that a crime one?
It's a crime. It's a crime. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but yeah, there was a defendant there, and just seeing the whole thing, right? I was like, whoa! I felt like as someone who's seeing that for the first time, yeah, it was kind of quite interesting, but also very I was really nervous. I was really nervous for no reason. Yeah, I remember that. I was super nervous. Yeah.
All you need to do is at the end to give a yes or no, right?
Guilty or not guilty. Yeah. I think so. I think that's what you do. Yeah. And you listen to the whole cases and stuff.
So you think? So you haven't got to the end of it?
No. So what happens is, so when you get jury duty, not everyone gets to be in the juries. So because it's they try to, I think the whole idea is they try to make it as random as possible. So obviously I got selected randomly. And then when you turn up, there's a jury assembly room. And then, so everyone that got the mail goes there. And there's maybe 60 of us, 60, 70 of us. And it's just so different. It's different world there, Jared. so it's at an Auckland District Court, and it's just a big room in a lot of chairs, and there's just TVs on the screen, because you're just waiting for hours sometimes, not knowing.
Is it a lobby or like what kind of room?
It's just a big room in the corner,
Okay.
and there are windows, but it's kind of you don't get any sound, so it's like. It's so weird that it's like a different vibe there for me, like
Yeah.
a different world. So just sitting there, waiting, and everyone's in the same boat. No one knows each other, right? Because we're all selected randomly. No one knows each other though. No one's talking, and some people are working, and no one's there because they want to be there. It's a duty. I mean, I'm grateful to fulfill my duty, but no one's volunteered to do it. And what happens is there's a person who kind of tell us what's happening, and that person, when there is a case, when the scheduled case is going ahead, she says, okay, like this case is going ahead at like 10:30 a.m. today, and we'll pick up random 30 people from us to be a potential jury, and they pick up 30 people, and then
How do they pick up?
oh, it's literally drawing from a box. Literally, they have a spinny box. They spin it and they just draw it.
Or the name or number?
It's a name, people's names, yeah. And then you get drawn, and then so for one of the cases, my name got drawn. So we went to so 30 of us went to court where the case is held, and we got there, and we all sit down at the back. We all sit down at the back, and then from there they tell us what the case is about, like what the crime is, why they're being, I guess is it charged? I don't know if that's the correct term, but why the defendant is there, and all the kind of people involved, like who the defendant is, who the witnesses are. Because if you know one of them, you might be biased. So you're supposed to say that. So so they say all the information, and then the judge walks in, and then they start drawing 12 names out of us 30 people. So same thing. Same thing, they draw it. And then and when your name get drawn, if you have any issues, you talk to the judge saying, if you know someone, or maybe, if you have any issues, you talk to the judge. Otherwise, you sit down at the jury box. And while you're walking to the jury seat, the lawyers can challenge you. So that means they don't want you to be a jury in the jury, and they don't have to give reasons or anything like that. They just say challenge, and then you have to go back. So I didn't get selected to be in the jury. So the 12 seats filled up eventually, and then I went back to the assembly area, and I was just waiting for the next one, but my name got never called out. So we went home. But it was I was there for from Monday to Thursday, lunchtime, Monday to Thursday lunchtime. But it was so like every day it feels so weird. Maybe it was just me just being really nervous, but you go there not knowing what's gonna happen. So I read so much book. I almost called you Kelly. I read so much book, Jenny, because you're just sitting there. And the internet's really bad, so I couldn't work. So I read so much book.
Yeah. Do you have to wait till everything finished?
Yeah, you have to wait until they tell you can go. So so they have scheduled cases, but they don't know. Sometimes it goes ahead and sometimes it doesn't. So it was funny. On Wednesday, they tell us, okay, for this week there's only one more case, and if you are selected for this case, obviously you have to be in the jury. But if you are not selected, that's it. The duty is over. So we're like, oh, that's good. Let's get sorted. And they're like, okay, the meeting for the case is happening at 10. So we will let you know. Everyone's like, oh, really feeling optimistic. And at 10, the ladies told us, oh, the case is not gonna happen today because the defendant has run away. They run away, so they said, okay, we'll wait one hour and see if they turn up. So we waited an hour. Of course, they didn't show up. So they're like, okay, we'll try again tomorrow. If they show up. So everyone went home, and we came back the next day, and they told us there are no more cases this week. Everyone can go home. So yeah, that was it.
What time do you need to be there?
It was at like I think 8:30 or 9. Yeah.
So you will have to wait before, when there was a scheduled case. You just literally sit, how to say, you're like working at 8 till 5, like working days. You just need to be there.
Yeah.
Whether you have to work or not, just be there.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah. So it's like kind of like a full-time work as a jury duty, So yeah, it's interesting. Like I found out that they pay you, not a lot, but they pay you, and your work legally they're not obliged, or they don't have to pay you for that time. But luckily my work did. So yeah, I'm grateful for that. But yeah, so I didn't know that, and they said I told them, and then they said no one has done jury duty at the company before, so they had to write out like a new section of policy. Just to say like, this is what happens if someone does jury duty. So yeah.
Oh, they're nice.
Yeah.
They didn't need to.
They didn't need to.
It wasn't in the employment contract that you signed.
No, exactly. No, it wasn't. Yeah. So I was grateful for that. Yeah, because I was fully prepared. They I was aware that they might not pay me. But I was like, okay, that's okay. Like I can survive for a couple of weeks without getting paid. But luckily they paid me. So yeah.
What are going to pay for a couple of weeks if you end up having to do a couple of weeks?
What's that, sorry?
Is your jury duty leave going to cover? Does it have a limit?
I can't remember how much they pay me. I think for like 4 day. I think it also depends how long you're there for too. And I wasn't there for that long, so maybe that's why it's not that much. But I ended up getting paid like 240 for like 4 days, like 4 half days. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you guys allowed to talk to each other in the waiting room?
Oh, like chat in the waiting room. Yeah, you can. So a lot of people like made friends.
Yeah.
But it was kind of cool to see like, because everyone in that room is randomly selected, right?
Yes.
So it's kind of to me it was kind of heartwarming when I saw people interacting and then making friends and making connections and things like that. Yeah.
It would be. Otherwise, it does sound very serious and intense.
Yeah.
And you're just in the box.
Yeah.
Especially, I sounds like it's not, but if you're like located to your own seat and then like empty and then you're on another seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be very scary.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, there was a good experience. I forgot to tell you guys.
That's cool.
Yeah, but going back to the conversation we were having before the pee break, I think it's like we should, if you do what you enjoy doing, it's not that bad going back to uni, right? Yeah, I mean at our age, like I feel like we're still quite young. Yeah, you think so? Like if you wanted to be an engineer, for example, I guess that's what Denim's doing now, kind of. Yeah.
I would think I need to have a good think about how I want to plan for my life.
Yeah.
And it makes sense for Denim. might not necessarily make sense for me.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it needs to a lot of thoughts and consideration has to be put through before a decision is made.
Yeah. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah. Would you consider doing another degree?
Right now, I think I wouldn't be against it. I mean, there's no like if there's something that I really wanted to study and pursue my path that way. Yeah, if there is something that I really wanted to study that at least right now I feel like I've still got time kind of thing to kind of change my path.
And will you be doing your full-time job while studying?
Oh, maybe not. I'll probably do part-time or something. Yeah. I'm more like if I find something I like, I want to put all my efforts in there kind of thing. Yeah, I don't think I can do like people that do like part-time PhD and stuff. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. Yeah, like committing after full-time work, committing a couple of hours every day.
Yeah.
That sounds tough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
for
is.
3-4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen people doing that, it's very difficult.
Yeah, that sounds tough. I saw that, Jenny, while researching your background.
Okay.
I saw that you're really active at the university.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, do you think so? Do you think you're quite active?
I thought I was very inactive.
It's very inactive. Well, tell me how this is inactive. Well, you're in Campus Life Social Advisory Group, International Student Volunteer, Exchange Fair Volunteer, Class Rep for some of the classes, University of Auckland Badminton Club, member of Undergraduate Math Community, member of Women in Philosophy Group, Beta Gamma Sigma, Postgraduate Committee member, Young Adult Fellowship, Research Project Assistant in Business School, as well as winning the 360 Degrees Auckland Abroad Exchange Travel Awards Scholarship.
How did you find all this?
Shout out to LinkedIn. I think I got it all from LinkedIn.
Really?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, you really read through it and like pick all the details from different places.
I got all the information from there, I think. Yeah.
It's nothing unusual, would you say? I think, surely you're a tutor, you must be class rep in something else.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I was a class rep in anything. I think I did the undergraduate math community thing. But I was in football club, like the university football club. But I wasn't in the team really. I just joined some of the events. Yeah, so not much, Jenny.
I think I'm on the same boat with
you. Okay. But it's an impressive list anyway.
Sorry?
It's an impressive list of commitments.
Thanks. I think I honestly feel like it's pretty much like you, like the same kind of thing.
I see.
And I think all of that is from third year onwards.
Yeah.
My first year was home and anime.
Oh, anime.
And
let's go. I love anime.
Yeah, that's most of the time.
Yeah.
And I think after study exchange, I feel like, oh my God, my uni is going to end.
Yeah.
And I haven't explored other parts. I think I do get inspired a lot when I was exchange. And Tsinghua University is very encouraged to join clubs, to join other things that you enjoy.
Yeah.
So not just study, but expand the other areas of your life. Be a more all-rounded person. And the campus life culture is a lot bigger than Auckland University.
Yeah.
So I think I came back and I feel like I haven't really experienced that in Auckland Uni.
Right.
I don't know what it's like. And I think I want to try more of this.
Yeah.
That's when they go big. Yeah, doing all of the stuff. I actually feel like I wish I had done more.
Yeah.
There are a lot of business groups and clubs and events that if I am me now, I'll persuade myself to join, even I know it will be difficult.
Yeah.
It will be challenging, but it will be rewarding.
Yeah, definitely.
I think I have always been a bit more introvert and shy.
Yeah.
So, especially in uni days, even though I'm like, Ginny, do more. I was still going for the more passive ones than active ones.
Yeah, okay.
That might be my regret. that might be the thing that I feel like I'm not pushing myself enough.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, true. Well, good on you for, at least getting yourself out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not easy.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah. I'm same as you. Like, I have, I think, in some sense, I did a lot at university, but I didn't really have. It's more social things that I did a lot. I wish I did a bit more, like clubby thing maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Like I didn't really find any club that like I joined, and I don't know. Like maybe if I was at the university now, maybe if there was a podcast group, that would be cool. That would be cool. I'll enjoy that. I'll join that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think just me thinking at the university, like when I was at the university, like I don't think I was I didn't really think about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. Now I think back, I remember that one of the big things about joining clubs was there was entry fee. Like right now looking back thinking, what? That's less than a meal's money.
Yeah, that's true.
Why does it even matter? But back then it's like, oh, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Am I that committed? Is it actually that important?
Yeah.
Would I be able to spare enough time from my study without getting into the study yet to be able to commit to this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like money was actually a big side of decision.
Right. Fair enough. There was the anime club, Jenny.
I was interested in origami club.
Origami club, okay.
And then they also have entry fee and bell.
But I feel like I don't know what the clubs will be like, but I feel like more often than not, it'll be worth it if you are active on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like there are so many more things, opportunities that I would really love. Like there was trampoline club, there's the photography ones. There was the language ones.
Oh yeah.
And
Pull your mic.
my bad.
All good.
Yes, like all of those I was interested in just do not end up committed to it for whatever reason.
True.
I did a lot of volunteer stuff. Like a lot of things that's on your list was more volunteer basis.
Yeah.
You just, I suppose it doesn't cost me anything money wise.
Yeah.
And also, I get to meet, I get to help, I get to, I like all this mentor program and then see them develop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that fulfills me a little bit at the time.
Yeah, no, good on you. What animes did you watch?
Oh, it was so bad. High school didn't get to watch much.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of Detective Conan when I was young.
Oh, yeah.
So I continued to watch a lot of that.
Yeah.
But because then I have time, I binge watched Naruto for 300 episodes or something.
That's so many.
And I didn't finish it by the end of 200 something, nearly 300. And no.
You didn't finish it?
I didn't. Because I binge watch it. If I had continuously watching, I probably would be very interested.
Yeah.
But because you binge watch it in a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
it's just all the stories. So you remember first episode when you watch the 200 episode.
Yeah.
The story gets a bit repetitive.
Yeah. Oh,
And
definitely.
you kind of get, I think I can see where it's going.
Yeah.
I need a break. And then once you get a break, you just never get back to it.
Yeah. That's why I prefer reading it.
Yes.
Yeah. But a lot of backstories, I kind of just skim read it. Because it's always kind of similar, you know? Yeah.
Detective Conan was probably one that I really followed.
Yeah. So you finished that one?
They are not finished yet?
They're not finished yet?
Yes.
Oh my God. So are they still going to this day?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh no.
I'm not fully up to date at the moment,
Yeah.
but I think it's still ongoing. Although the cartoon was going faster than the manga.
Oh, is that right?
Because the author was always taking breaks.
Right.
And then every time 1 to 2 months.
Oh.
And then you know how it takes 3 episode, I don't know, 3 slots, 3 release to complete one story.
Right.
Where a cartoon is 1, 2.
Yeah.
So the cartoon was a lot faster, a lot more.
Right. Oh, I wanted it to be finished because, I mean, the whole thing is he turned into a kid, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's back to his proper age by now.
I just they've seen all this phone change over time from the start and then the flip one and then like from the very start, the big one, the big with the tinnitus ones that show up in Detective Conan at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then later on, you know, as time change becomes the flip phone.
Yeah.
And then the smartphone.
Yeah.
Like you've seen that change, and then you've also seen the nose of Detective Conan.
Okay.
Like his nose has, because of the joint technology, has changed.
Okay.
Conan back in the days and Conan these days, the most significant part is actually the nose.
Is that right?
The nose turns from here to like this. It doesn't look weird when you're just looking at him.
Right.
But when you make the comparison, it's like, what's wrong with your nose? But he's still the same age.
He's still the same age.
Yeah.
And, oh my goodness.
You said you wanted to stop. How do you think he might stop? I can't. I personally can't design a good ending for it.
I mean, I think right now it'll be difficult after so many episodes and so many years. I want it to be like short and sweet. I like it when series are short and sweet, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like, because the whole motivation is that he turns into a kid. It's a mystery. The goal is them to solve that.
Yeah.
And all the other things that they come across, all the other crimes and things they come across, is the consequence of pursuing the goal, right?
Yeah.
But now it feels like Conan's enjoying being in that body, enjoying the youth of it, and not my vibe, you know. It's a shame. It's a shame because I wonder what happened. What happened to that? It's a mystery. I want to know.
It's true because even many years ago, all the fans has grows into the 2 groups.
Right.
Whether you are I want to say the Japanese name, but I think I'm actually saying I'm thinking of the Japanese name of another cartoon, the high school guy with the girl.
Yeah.
Are you this couple fan,
right,
or are you Conan and the girl fan? Like they're the same person, but the fan has grown to the 2 groups.
Right.
Who are you?
Yeah. Of course, the grown one. Because when you're a kid, they're not going out, right? Obviously, like she doesn't know that that's the same person.
No.
Yeah.
But there has been so much stories happening with them, like taking care of each other.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that is true.
As 2 distinctive groups.
Yeah, for sure.
I cannot believe it.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, the story is, I don't know how they're going to end it in a good way.
Yeah. It will be so difficult now. I think they should have just made it shorter, you know, and then kind of transition into being more and more about the mystery. Yeah, that's what I was hoping. How do you say? There are a lot of
guess about who the big boss is.
Okay.
There was the Man in Black group, right?
Okay. I can't remember.
The organization that
Okay.
designed the medicine,
Yeah.
which is called APTX 4869.
Okay.
And then this organization is it's kind of like Professor Mori in oh my god, help me out, please. The other detective book,
Oh.
Baker Street.
Oh. I know. The Moriarty from Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Moriarty. Yes, thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, like the big guy.
Yeah.
The bad guy.
Yeah.
The one that's the evil of everything.
Yeah.
But no one knows who the big boss is. And that was the mystery. And that was one that they were trying to figure out. And there was all these conflicts coming from.
Yeah.
But there was all these conflicts. And we know who all these people that work for the big boss. But we just don't know who this big boss is. I think it's going to be really difficult to make a big, epic, good ending.
Yeah.
How are you going to design to... There's already so many people to build up to the epic part.
Yeah.
But who that person is really matters.
Right.
If it's someone that we do know,
Yeah.
how are they going to claw back to all those clothes that you already know?
Yeah.
You know, how they're going to interact.
Yeah.
But if it is not someone that we already know, then you just kind of like, oh yeah, this is the big boss.
It's just a big bad guy.
Yeah, just a big guy, you know. This is the look. Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
So you need to have something else for this person.
Yeah.
Or why he becomes the bad person. Like
Yeah.
you need to have something
You
there.
need to build that up. Yeah.
It's difficult, I think.
It's difficult. Well, hopefully it ends soon.
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
I think it's like the Lord of the Ring, the Fire and Ice? Wait, sorry. Wait. I'm so bad. Like this podcast is going to show how bad my memories are. Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
The book.
Mm.
You know how people are like not sure if it's going to be.
Yeah, because it's not ended, right? And the author is already pretty old, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
It takes him a while to
feel
write.
like Detective Conan is kind of on that pathway as well.
Yeah, because the author must be quite old for that too. Damn.
And also, you already earn so much money.
Yeah.
You're already at this time.
Yeah.
How much more time are you going to put on to make it a good ending?
Yeah. Did you see? Did you ever watch Doraemon? I love that. I used to love that.
Yes.
But I feel like I don't know if it's still going, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's still going.
Me neither.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
don't
watching
know.
all these old ones.
But it would be cool if they had the ending too, because that was a really interesting story. Yeah.
Because Doraemon's coming from the future.
Yeah.
And then there's Doremi.
Yeah.
And
His sister,
like,
right?
Yeah, the sister. So there are stories.
There's a story, yeah. But ending would have to be. Oh, I remember now. I think I read like a fan-made ending.
Yeah.
I think, is it because the author died or something? But yeah, somehow there was a fan-made ending. And it was, I think Doraemon at one point, Doraemon and the main guy, they grow up together. And I think at one point Doraemon gets broken or something. And so he loses him. But I think he eventually becomes a scientist and fixes Doraemon. And then Doraemon wakes up saying like, oh, you need to go to school or something like that. It was something cute like that. But I think it would have to be that, or maybe Doraemon have to go back to the future again. And that's it. Like somehow the desk time machine closes or something like that. That would be cool.
Yeah. I feel like Doraemon is the childhood dream of many people.
Oh, it's so wholesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And He's just there to accompany,
Yeah.
to help you, to save you. And then you have adventures together.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch. There's the adventure, the fun part, but there's also the loving part, the caring part.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like the friendship. Yeah. And the learning and things.
Yeah. I'll say the scientists will be cool because all of the time in the past when Doraemon trying to push him to study, and then he actually eventually becomes the person that has studied well and then rewarded it.
Yeah. Maybe he's the one who made him. You know? Wait.
Yes.
That's not bad. Yeah. Maybe I think good one would be that like I think they have to say goodbye at one point. And he grows up making him and sending him and have to say something like that, you know? That would be cool.
Oh, that's also going to be a philosophical question.
It is, no? That's right.
Like the timeline. So which comes first?
I know you only have the inspiration because you saw him when you were a child, but then you wouldn't have if you didn't make it when you were. Time is weird, Jenny. I feel like time travel is not possible. Surely.
No?
I feel like it's like, how are you going to explain that?
Yeah.
You know? Maybe you can go forward in time, but not back in time.
But if you go forward in time,
just go backwards.
that future person was also seeing the history of you.
If I go forward in time, that's a good point. Maybe that's like a next episode. It's 5:36 p.m. Jenny, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you. It was great having you here.
Yeah, it's very fun chat.
Yeah. But we'll have to have you back on, you know, to discuss anime or anime things. But yeah, it was awesome to hear about like the work you're doing and kind of the accounting part, which I didn't know anything about. Learning about that was awesome. Thank you very much for being here, and let's get out of here, Jenny. Bye.
See you.
See you.